Welcome to Breazeale Grocery Bluegrass for another good morning here. We're located at 5109 Liberty Highway in Pendleton, South Carolina. We hope you're watching us live this morning. We got a lot to cover this morning. I got a really wonderful guest this morning. Today is May the 3rd, 2023, and the weather outside is 60 degrees, 0% chance of rain, sunny outside. It's going to be another beautiful day here in Pendleton, South Carolina. I want to do a shout out to Hudson, Hampton, Sylvia, Grant, Charlie, Harper, Carter, Blaine. Hello out there, TV land. Here at Breazeale, we have we do everything here. I think just about everything. We have some junk food back there that we sell, drinks, and pops and chips and moon pies and stuff. So. And then we also we do bluegrass music on Saturday night, 6:30 till 11, and it's free. So if you're ever in the area and care to join us, we're located 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. We teach here. We teach fiddle. We teach classical violin. We teach mandolin. We teach the bass. We teach guitar. Anything with a string on it, we teach it. And we have excellent teachers. We have, in my opinion, the best instructors of the upstate right here at Breazeale Grocery Bluegrass. For more information, call 864-376-1482 and ask for Don. That's me. And I'll be glad to help you in whatever needs you have, musical needs you have, or any other kind of need you want to talk, just call me. We're live. You can call right now if you're viewing us live, and I will talk to you. Our sponsor for today is Arch Construction. For all of your construction needs, we do commercial, we do residential, we do renovations, and we do development. And the owner of the company is my son, Josh Acevedo. To call him, his number is 843-241-5644. Again, that's 843-241-5644 for all of your construction needs. Okay, one more time, we're located at 5109 Liberty Highway in Pendleton, South Carolina. And some people pull it up on their little Google Maps stuff. It'll show up as Anderson instead of Pendleton. And you'll get here either way, so make sure you put that down. We have a great jam camp coming up May 19th to the 21st, right here at Breazeale Grocery Bluegrass. It's sponsored and ran by Mr. Gilbert Nelson, and he uses the Wernick method of teaching. The tuition is $299 for 3 days, and I promise you, worth every penny of it. Several years back, I took one of these jam camps in Nashville, Tennessee, and I went in there with my books and stuff, and he put the books aside, and he said, "No, we're going to jam." I said, "Well, I need to look at something." He said, "No, you don't. You know 3 chords on the banjo." I said, "Yes, sir, that's all you need to know." So he had me jamming with the whole group there the first time. So he's got a different way, a different technique, and I really like his technique. Of course, it's not for everybody, but if you're needing to go to a jam camp, a really good jam camp, here May 19th to the 21st at Breazeale Grocery Bluegrass. All bluegrass instruments. You don't need any jamming experience necessary, and you'll be jamming the first session. I promise you that, because I did that. I was amazed. You can also check out gilbertnelson.com for more information on his jamming camps that he does all around the eastern U.S. I think he went to California last year, did a camp out there. So register now, and we'll get you signed up here at Breazeale Grocery Bluegrass for his jam camp. Also, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow they start the 10th annual Little Roy and Lizzie Music Festival. If you've never been, you need to go to that. It's 3 days. It starts tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And actually, I'll be leaving tomorrow to head that way in the morning early. and some of the lineups, the Little Roy and Lizzie show, Rhonda Vincent, Gene Watson, Marty Stewart, good lineup. We have Doug Flowers, the Hillbilly Gypsies, Midnight Run. I've never heard some of these. Malpass Brothers, they're great musicians there. The Navy Band, the Country Navy Band, and actually two of the members of the Navy Band have played on stage here with Little Roy and Lizzie. So you need to go down there and watch that Navy Band and listen to them. They're great musicians. We got Retro 78, Crow Brothers, Sherry Boyd and Larry Efaw will be on stage performing at the Little Roy and Lizzie show. And advance tickets are $50, $55 at the gate for day passes. 3-day advance passes are $100, $105 at the gate. And children under 7, of course, are free. You don't, not too much stuff that's free anymore. So anyway, make your way down to the Little Roy Lizzie Music Festival starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. 1935 Lewis Family Road, Lincolnton, Georgia. Again, that's 1935 Lewis Family Road in Lincolnton, Georgia. Begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. So make your way that way sometime tomorrow or anytime during the weekend. You can go anytime. Okay. We want to remember Jeff Martin Auctioneers. Okay, the Jeff Martin Auctioneers, it's a public auction. They have vehicles, boats, motorcycles, RVs, anything got wheels on it. I think they sell it at the Jeff Martin Auctioneer. It's Saturday, May the 13th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you make your way to the Jeff Martin Auctioneers. If you need more information, call Blaine Albertson, 864-556-5384. I'm partial to Blaine, too. I love that boy. Great boy. Again, call Blaine Albertson, 864-556-5384. Jeff Martin Auctioneers, which will be Saturday, May 13th, 9 a.m. So make your way over to the auction as well. Great event. They got everything over there. Okay. I'm going to introduce our guest speaker. He's a dear friend of mine. I love him to pieces. And actually, my little nephew Hampton took lessons from his brother, which I still love the guy. Mr. Larry Bell took lessons from him. Larry taught him well, and Mr. Larry passed away. He's no longer with us. He's up there with all the good banjo pickers having a good time. So anyway, little Hampton, it's hard for him to take lessons from his brother Gary Bell because they look so much alike and they kind of have the same characteristics as far as his speech and stuff. But I think we're going to get him in here this summer to pick up his lessons again for Mr. Gary Bell. Anyway, Gary Bell is our speaker today. And he's the banjo instructor here. He teaches guitar. I think he could probably teach anything with a string on it. He's been doing it for a long time. He'll tell you more about that. Doing it for a long time. And he took over his brother's place here. I'm so blessed that he took the opportunity to come to Breazeale and give lessons every week. He's always here on time and has a handful of great students. So. There's a whole bunch. He's a hunter. He loves to go turkey hunting. When it's turkey season, he's not here. But he gives everybody knows, I won't be here. I'm going looking for birds. So he's a big hunter in turkeys. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my friend, Mr. Gary Bell.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate you having me. I got everybody calling me GB now. Cutting it short, it's like JD, but GB. And somebody said, how you spell it? I said, GB. But I'm grateful to you, Don, and I want to pay a special thank you to Don and Jane for continuing to create a place here the hard work that they put in, you don't see for people to come and jam and have fun learning and playing bluegrass music. You know, I don't know that there's any viewers out there, Don, old enough to understand where my music started, because in 1947-48, our parents taught us how to sing harmony. They carried us to these churches where they had singing classes. And it was something to remember. And as we got older and moved to Greenwood, South Carolina, our dad bought guitars for us, and we started playing guitars. And then shortly after the Greenwood, living there for a while, we were allowed to get up for breakfast, Mom cooking them biscuits and scrambled eggs and bacon, and Dad had the radio on in the kitchen, 645 WSM Nashville, Tennessee, Flat and Scruggs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I guarantee you there's not many out there, maybe the DJ here in Anderson at the Bluegrass station that heard that. Did you hear that? Did you hear that station, WSM, back in the 50s?
I wasn't here. I was born in 1950.
Well, we had the, well, okay, you sound like my wife. You know, every time I say something about a certain date, our granddaughter, 11-year-old, she says, Papa, Nanny wasn't but 6. But anyway, that was kind of our start. And then by 1955 or 56, Dad was bringing us into the local radio station there in Greenwood playing, and I was high school, I was teenager, I wasn't real happy about that program, and my music choices, he could tell, was not bluegrass, not at that time, but Larry, my brother, and hey, I can't do this with you, interview with you without mentioning my brother Larry. He was a great friend, brother, friend in music. We shared a lot together, and we really miss Larry. And every once in a while, somebody sends us a picture, and it pops up where Larry's playing music somewhere around here. He was in Anderson most of his life. So in 1964, he called me. I was living in Greenwood, and I had married, and my family got started, and I came up to Anderson, and there was Larry, and Larry Jefferson playing mandolin out on the curb. That was things you could do back then. So that afternoon, we went to a music show that Larry wanted us to go to. The next day, he says, hey, I got to introduce you to a friend of mine. And I said, okay. So we go up, they called it North Anderson then. I don't know if that impresses you today or not, but back then it was a big deal. And introduced me to a 14-year-old rock and roll guitar player in high school that was playing banjo, and it was Al Osteen. Oh my, what a day. Larry was playing Ojo Clark, and Al was playing the harmony on Ojo Clark, and I had quit playing music for a long time, about that time, but Larry continued. And that impressed me so. I was glad I remembered it later, because in 1975, I went to Bristol, Tennessee for the summer to do a special work project. And one day when I was there, you know, that's the home of country music. Maybelle Carter and the Carter family. And so I walked into a music store and picked up an Earl Scruggs banjo book. 1975, it came out in 69. And I have no idea why I picked that book up, because Larry was the banjo player in our family. I never played banjo, I played guitar. So when I came home, the word got out that Al Osteen was in Greenville. He had left Jim and Jesse and the Virginia boys on the Grand Ole Opry to come back to Greenville. He didn't like that traveling on the bus, and he was teaching. And so I go and buy me a $109 banjo. Don, it was one of those you felt like the left hand was running over railroad track. Yeah. But I dug in, and I'll tell you, every lesson he gave me, I made sure I could play it before I went back, because I was scared to death that he was going to go back to Nashville. Yes, sirree. So Al got me started there for a couple of years, and I moved to Hartwell Lake. And Wes Edwards, a good friend of ours, had opened up a music store here in Anderson, and Wes told me that Al said, Wes said, it took you 3 years to learn what it took me 30 years to learn. And Wesley was a great teacher. I mean, he could write the tabs out like nobody. I mean, he was a great teacher, so I'll give a lot of credit to Al and Wes in my banjo playing. So in 2005, I retired in Atlanta, and my brother said, Gary, you need to start teaching. And I said, well, so I started teaching at Dreamcatcher Guitar in Roswell and Ponce de Leon Music in Cumming, Georgia. And in 2009, I moved back to Greenville because I met my sweetheart in my old age, and I wanted to be close to my daughters and my mom, and so I started teaching at home in Greenville. Well, you know, my brother passed here 2 years ago now, Don. It was in December the 10th, but I'm losing track of time.
Yeah.
And Larry had taught here with Don for years, and Don asked me to come over and teach, and I said, man, I don't know if I can do that or not, Don. I said, you know, people loved Larry. I mean, they really did. And I said, I'm afraid it won't take. And he said, well, come and try it. So I came and tried it, and man, it has been wonderful. And hey, I can't thank you enough, Don, for letting me come here and spend my time here. I look forward to it.
Yeah,
I think my wife even sees I glow as I go out the door. Breazeale's Grocery. Listen, if you haven't been here, come check it out on Saturdays. It's a wonderful place to learn music during the week. They have teachers most every day, but you get to come and jam, and it doesn't matter what level you're on.
That's right.
But I thank you again, Don, for having me, and I'm grateful, son. It keeps me going, and like I said, there's probably a lot of people out there viewing now that wouldn't remember 1947 or 1952, but good Lord's blessed me. I'm still here, son.
Yeah. Gary, tell us a little bit about the banjo.
All right, the banjo is the most fun instrument that you can imagine to learn on. I mean, you get into violin and piano, and you got to learn all the scales.
Yeah.
But with the banjo, there's 4 strings on it, 5 strings on it, but all you got to do is start out with a roll or 2. And once you get that, in a couple of months, you can play about 10 songs on the banjo. It's really not hard. We start you off with the rolls, then I think I blew something out right there.
A little technical difficulty there.
We start you out with the rolls, and then we embellish the rolls, teaching you to do the slides, the hammer-ons, and the pull-offs. And we really don't get into any kind of music theory for the first 6 months with the banjo. We want to teach you how to play and how to play with other people. So that's kind of what we do here in banjo teaching. And now one of my ideas years ago is teach you how to play backup. There's not enough emphasis on teaching backup. And that's something that we offer here in my classes. Is so if you're an intermediate or an advanced player and you really never grasp the ability to play backup, you need to come check us out and let us go over some of our material that we use and try to help you get in here so you can jam with other and play with other people. Because if you're just playing tunes, you're kind of, in 90% of the time, you're not playing backup for vocalists, other instrumentalists that might be playing in the group. So I invite you to come and check us out.
Okay. Larry, tell us a little bit about the style of teaching that you do for students. I know teachers have different styles of teaching instruments different ways. What is your style of teaching?
Well, my style is straight out of the Scruggs book. I mean, I'm teaching Scruggs licks, Scruggs backup. There is a melodic part of banjo playing that you want to get into as an advanced player, but I have found that if you go through the Scruggs introduction and learn to play the banjo Scruggs style, you pretty much can learn the melodic in on your own. It's not that difficult to add that into your playing. Of course, I don't get into the jazz part of it. Jazz the grass, I don't know. I'm not into that, but it's basically the Scruggs picket.
Yeah. Okay.
Don's got banjos for sale here, guitars for sale here. If you need an instrument, you can come here. We'll loan you one, rent you one, sell you one, just to get you started.
Yeah, we do sell instruments here. We have guitars, fiddles, banjos. I'm out of mandolins, but we can get you one if you're interested in playing a mandolin. We'll get you an instrument. Everything with a string on it we usually have here, except for the mandolin. We teach bass, that big old doghouse bass, and you learn how to play the bass. You can come here. I can teach you how to play that bass, 3 chords, in less than 5 minutes. You'll be playing that bass. All you have to do is have rhythm. If you can tap your foot to a rhythm, you can play that bass big time. Yeah, we have all the instruments. We have great instructors, great people. We have students that come from far away. We have some from Greenville, Georgia, that come here to take lessons. So we're pretty on the go with lessons and everything going on here at Breazeale Bluegrass. Again, I want to mention coming up, because it's coming up so soon. I want to mention the Jeff Martin auction is coming up. Vehicles, boats, motorcycles, RVs, Saturday, May 13th at 9 a.m. And if you're interested in buying equipment, cars, trucks, boats, RVs, or if you want to sell cars, boats, RVs, contact Blaine Albertson at 864-556-5384. I just wanted to put that plug in there for those of you that might have gotten on the network a little bit later on than our broadcast. So we hope you go out there and if nothing else, just go out there. It's pretty cool, because I've been out there several times just to walk around and see all the equipment and all the people that go there and how the auctions actually work. Mr. Jeff Martin has got that down to a science. And they have auctions also other states. He's got auctions at many states. Blaine, well, actually, he was doing traveling when they have to set up an auction, but now he's in the sales division, so he doesn't travel much anymore. Only when they need him to go somewhere for something, he'll go. But yeah, it's amazing to see walk through that auction. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They don't have instruments, but we sell the instruments here. Again, we're located at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. If you need to call me, you can call me now if you'd like to, 864-376-1482. Whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about the dog, your kids, music, I can talk to you about anything. I took some psychology courses at Clemson University at one time, so I know how to listen. I'm a good listener. So if you need somebody to listen to your problems, come by and see me. I'm here most every day. And if I'm not, you can call me, and it takes me 2 or 3 minutes to get here from my home. So come and join us. We got a few minutes left on the broadcast. Mr. Bell, I'm going to take it back to you. How long have you been playing music?
Let's see, I'd say 9 or 10 years old, and I don't know the year.
Huh?
I don't know what year we started, but I was about 9 years old.
9 years old. And how old? You don't have to tell how old you are now.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that I'm 84, I'm in my 85th year, but my grandkids have already had a meeting and they've explained to me that I'm in the 85 club. And I said, what's the 85 club? They said, Pop, you got to hold them stories down to 4 words. I said, but you don't understand. Every time I tell them, they get better.
They get better.
So I'm in the 85 club.
Okay. So you've been.
But I've been playing music since I was 9 years old. You can do the math.
Yeah, that's a long time. If you've been doing it that long, you know your stuff. I started playing an acoustic nylon string guitar. I remember I bought it when I lived in Lantana, Florida. There was a music store on Lantana Road, and the guy that taught it, he was an old gentleman, had a lot of wrinkles in his face. He was probably back then, probably in his 60s, and I was probably 14, 15 years old, and I had acoustic nylon string guitar. His name was Bill Kroger. He was kind of a hippie-looking guy, big old mustache. And I would go there once a week and take lessons on the classical guitar. He learned me a few things, but then I kind of lost interest in it. And then in later years, I picked up the fiddle in Florida, and a couple of friends of mine, Jimmy Oatway, Bill Perkle, and myself, we used to go to the old Greyhound bus station, which was on the highway, and we'd pick in the bus station.
Busking.
Yeah, we just practiced. You know, I got pretty good on a fiddle, and actually I played the fiddle for many, many years. And that's all I did play was a fiddle player. And I could do the old Orange Blossom Special, a lot of fiddle tunes. I met with some famous fiddle players, Chubby Anthony. I met with what's his name? I can see his face. He passed away.
Vassar Clement.
Vassar Clement, yeah, Vassar Clement. He was at a festival in Florida, and I saw him sitting in his chair, and I went over and talked to him. Actually, I held his fiddle. He said, "You want to play a tune?" And I was nervous. I didn't want to hold. He had what they called a Bogan Flugel fiddle. It had a headstock, carved headstock, and so I held it a little bit. Didn't play it. I just held it, and I gave it back to him. Met Chubby Anthony, Chubby Wise, a lot of the great fiddle players that are no longer with us today. And I have a best friend, well, all my friends are best friends, but a good friend that lives up in Marshall, North Carolina, Mr. Bobby Hicks, which is a famous fiddle player, and sad to say that he can't play anymore because he lost his bow hand. So that's unfortunate. Excellent fiddle player and a good friend of mine. So I played the fiddle for many years, and then I moved here and went through some downtimes and tragedies and stuff. So I quit playing music altogether for 20 years. Nothing. And then our son, who's behind us, I don't know if you can see his picture, but I'm going to lower it so you can see it sometime. He started playing the banjo, and he was a very, very good banjo player. So I picked up the guitar and started playing. And then I picked up my fiddle and started playing fiddle again. It's hard to come back. This month is the month that we lost our son Martin Acevedo. But he's in the big band now. He's with Mr. Bell and all the pickers up there. They're having a big time, and can't wait to get up there and pick with him. So anyway, that's my story, part of my story. One of these days I'm going to come over and share a little bit of my testimony. Okay, we got about a minute left, so thank you for joining us. And come back next week at 11 a.m. here at Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, and we'll be live here at Breazeale's at 5109 Liberty Highway, and we'll have another guest speaker and more topics. Again, if you want to talk about anything, just call me, 864-376-1482, and thank you for joining us for the broadcast today. Thank you, Mr. Bell, for being here and being our guest today. And hopefully we'll be back next week, same time, same station at the Grocery Bluegrass. So, bye-bye, folks. See you later.